We're really excited to be doing this again, and I've been very open on the radio about my infertility journey, and I'll share it with you now in case you don't know my story. In total, I've had 5 miscarriages. I've had 1 ectopic, 2 natural miscarriages around 5 weeks, a missed miscarriage at about 9 weeks along, and most recently a blighted ovum, which is basically an empty sac. I have gone through 3 failed IUIs, several IVF cycles, 1 failed completely, and 1 gave me my beautiful daughter, which is making me feel like I'm gonna cry, because she truly is a miracle. And I'm so grateful for IVF and for the awesome doctors that we have here in Kansas City, because they made me a mom. So I'm grateful for that. I've gone through 3 frozen embryo transfers, 2 resulted in miscarriage, 1 failed. And my hope right now is that I will be able to give birth to a healthy brother or sister from a little girl. So that's where we are in our journey today. Infertility is a complete roller coaster. As you know, emotional ups and downs. Unless you've walked in the shoes, it's like you don't get it. People try, people say terrible things, and you want to smack people sometimes because they just say the wrong things. But that's why I'm so excited about this group and these amazing women that I'm going to introduce in just a moment for putting this together. And I don't know, I like the unity of it. I like that the support of it all, and that we can come together today. Knowledge is power, to learn things and to figure out how every one of us in this room can be moms and dads and grandmothers. My mom's here today. So thanks again for coming. And I would like to now introduce the founders of KCIA, Allison Spencer, Nicole Hayes, Megan Stack, and Tammy Lester. You're really tall.
Good morning. I'm so happy to see all of you here today. My name is Allison Spencer, and I am the president of the foundation. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we started, and then I'll tell you a little bit about my journey. We all met around January, February, March of 2010. We were the 4 original members of a support group that met at my church in Blue Springs. And for the longest time, it was just us 4. And all of our conversations really centered on bringing awareness. We talked a lot about how we educate our families and what to say, what not to say, educate our friends. And then one Christmas right to our meeting, we went out to dinner, and then we got this crazy harebrained idea to start a conference, a yearly conference during National Infertility Week. And our first conference was last year. We had over 200 people who attended, and it was at North Kansas City Hospital, and that was the largest room at a hospital where we could have a conference, and we maxed it out. It was, if you were there, you know that it was very crowded last year. We did not want you to be crowded this year, so the next best bet was having it at a school, so here we are. A little bit about my journey. My husband and I have been trying for 4 years to conceive a child, and we've been through several failed IUIs. We've been through 1 failed IVF. We were preparing to go through another IVF this summer, next summer, and by the grace of God, about 9 weeks ago, I found out that I am pregnant completely naturally. It's still real, but I was training for a half marathon, so. Obviously I didn't do the half marathon. But I will go ahead and I will give it over to Nicole, and she will tell you a little bit about her journey.
I'm Nicole, and you're going to see me again in just a few minutes, and I'm going to actually work my journey into my presentation, so I won't take up your time now.
Hi, my name is Megan Stack, and I'm actually the secretary of KCIA. And just a little bit about my journey. We started trying in 2007, and we got pregnant in about 10 months of trying, and actually had a stillborn daughter in 2008. And then we've suffered infertility since then. And I have stage 3 endometriosis, and then I was able to get pregnant a couple more times since then, but have miscarried twice. And last year we actually brought home a son through adoption, and he is the light of our lives. So it's been a great journey.
this, well, when our son was born, we've been at this for 3 years. My husband and I started to try in July of 2009, and I got off the pill and thought we'd conceived right away like all my other friends. But we quickly learned we were going to have problems, and without making the guys uncomfortable in the room, I never had a period. And I've had one random period in the last 3 years. And so for those of you trying to conceive, you know that periods are pretty important to making that all work. So we were kind of in a predicament where we literally, well, okay, I won't say we couldn't try, we could try, but we could not try it and know we would be successful. So we were in a point where we literally could not achieve pregnancy without fertility treatments. So we got on the fast track of conceiving, made a decision as a couple that we weren't going to do IUIs or anything like that. And so we went straight to in vitro, summer of 2010. And I have this weird thing going on in my body where I have to be on crazy amounts of medication. And so anyway, I was able to retrieve 27 eggs from that IVF cycle. And so we were thinking, holy, wow, we're going to have kids, maybe 3. And anyway, we ended up with nothing. So that failed. We did have 2 frozen. So again, thinking out of 27, surely one of those would be okay. Tried to do a frozen embryo cycle, either survived the thaw. So that took us for a loop. Switched insurance companies that year, so we had IUI coverage, so we kind of backtracked. Did about 5 or 6 IUIs. My doctor cringes if she were in this room right now, but I would overproduce, and so then she'd cancel our cycle, and we'd go home and try anyway. And thank goodness there's not 6 that I've had. So anyway, no, I don't recommend that. My doctor would recommend that either. But anyway, by the grace of God, we did not end up like the John and Kate, all that. But, so we did IVF again this past fall, and we are pregnant with a boy, and he is due August 1st.
Before Jenny gets back up here, I want to explain to you a little bit about your participant bag. In your participant bag, you got tons of goodies from our sponsors. Please take some time to look through that. Also, when you registered, each person or each couple should have received a white folder with our black sticker on it. Inside the folder, there's several things. There's a program, which tells you about our day. It also tells you about our wonderful sponsors. We have some amazing sponsors, and we literally could not do this without them. We're just humbled by their support. The sponsors include Reproductive Resource Center, Midwest Reproductive Center, Perry Drug, Centered Spirit, Midwest Women's Healthcare Specialist, Reproductive Medicine and Infertility, and Chris Probasco, who couldn't be here today. I believe she's in Colorado. I don't know. She's doing something in a different state. Also in your folder, we would really greatly appreciate, there's a survey. We really do look at these surveys, and when we were planning this year's conference, we really looked at these surveys, and we would really need you to fill this out. Us 4 will be at the doors when you leave. Please hand this to us. There's also a list of the donations in there. There's some support groups in the area there. It's amazing how many support groups. When I started the Sisters of Hannah support group a couple years ago, there were not very many available in the Kansas City area. Now you can see that the font is really tiny, and there are many in the area. And there's also the speaker biographies in alphabetical order by their presentation names. So check those out too. Also, on your envelope, you should have received an envelope that when you checked in, it has your name on it, and it has your first breakout session and your second breakout session. If you are in, and we'll talk about where you're going to go for this breakout sessions later, so take a look at that. Also, inside it is inside your envelope are your giveaway slips. If you pre-registered, your name is already on those. You'll see several baskets in the back of the room. Please check those out. You don't have to slip your name in every one, because some of you may not want to do consult, an infertility treatment consult. Some of you, that's just not your path. So do the ones that you want. Also the booths, there are tons of giveaways on the booths. Please check those out during your break time, which is going to be in about 30 to 45 minutes. And I believe that's it. We have 17 booths. We have 17 booths, which is amazing. I think we had 10 last year, 10 or 12 last year, so we keep growing, which is awesome. And we really appreciate the support of all the booths and their support in making more of an awareness of infertility and building your family. I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Oh, yes. Let's do giveaways. We have some door prizes. Hopefully, if you haven't, please, when you checked in, you should have put your name in one of the in here. If you haven't, make sure that you do that during the break. We have tons of door prizes to give away. If you were here last year, we're going to try and do giveaways a little different this year. So make sure you put your name in here if you haven't during a break. It'll be on the registration table. Yeah. For door prizes, you get to pick. You'll see there's two tables back there. There's one of books and DVDs, and there's one of like goodies like purses and like armbands. Like there's one like the orange things like an armband, and there's like a hat, and just things if you don't want any of the books. So thank you, and I'm gonna give it over to Jane.
Pull about 6 names. Prizes are always fun, right? Brandon Zarda. Brandon, go pick. I know you want that purse. I'm kidding. Go ahead and pick something out. Kelly Beal. And Brianna Williams. I feel like we need some noise or something. Excited, yay! Congratulations. I hope I'm going to say this right. Vestal Cook. Ben Stafford.